What is going on, Guardians? In light of Destiny's recent patch 2.4 that dropped on September 8th, the one prepping for Rise of Iron of course, some weapons received some nerfs and some buffs. Today more specifically we are going to be talking about the No Time to Explain Pulse Rifle, a weapon up until this patch I'm sure most of us just sort of had sitting at our vaults collecting dust. I mean, at least I did. The Pulse Rifle is essentially an exotic mirror of the Stranger's Rifle, which we received for completing the vanilla story mode, a favorite of mine for a good time in the Year 1 Crucible. This Pulse Rifle falls into the same archetype as the Nerwin's Mercy, Red Death, Final Duty, and so on, with a fire rate of 66 and an impact of 14. Now let me get something out of the way before we even get started. This is not a good counter to your Godroll, Hawksaws, and Grasp of Malix. The Grasp of Malix time to kill is just under a second, and that's going to remain hard to compete with unless Bungie decides to change it up. But that certainly doesn't mean that this isn't a viable weapon in the new Crucible meta. This weapon has certainly found its place. So let's talk about the new No Time to Explain. With the recent 2.4 update, a couple of things have changed with this weapon. Most notable is the addition of the intrinsic perk Headseeker, allowing this thing to pack a much bigger punch. Along with Headseeker, this weapon also received a damage bonus of 2% along with the other pulse rifles in this archetype, your Nerwin's Mercy, Red Death, etc. Along with Headseeker, this weapon also has full auto as well as the perk Rewind Again, which allows precision hits to be directly returned to the magazine. The Rewind Again perk is a huge help with this weapon's magazine size, which is on the smaller side compared to other pulse rifles, considering it only has 24 bullets. That being said, I've found that over the few hours that I've had in the new Crucible meta with this weapon, I've usually been able to squeeze an extra 1 to 3 bursts, allowing for more kills in one magazine. Of course, that depends on how many headshots you get. With the addition of Headseeker, I've personally found this weapon to be much more powerful in the Crucible. With well-placed shots, this weapon will kill in around 3 bursts, 4 if not. I would consider this one of the top weapons in its respective archetype. One of the strengths of this weapon is its ability to chain kills, especially when playing in 6v6s. Blasting down a sightline with more than one enemy is made much easier with the combination of the two perks, Headseeker and Rewind Again. In conclusion, do I think this weapon is a new god weapon to shine in the Crucible meta? No. But what I do think is that if you have this weapon just collecting dust in your vault, or you haven't gone out and gotten it yet, you should definitely pull this thing out and give it a shot. Definitely doesn't underwhelm like it has in the past, thanks to that 2% increase in damage. Also, compared to the other exotic pulse rifles, this thing has a much higher base range stat, as well as a higher base range to the pulse rifles in the same archetype, that being 51 and the average being around 30. That range combined with Headseeker makes this thing a viable counter to snipers. Go out, get the No Time to Explain, and let me know what your opinion of this weapon's new buffs are. Will you use it in the Crucible, or will it just continue to collect dust? Thanks for checking out the video. If you enjoyed the video or learned something new, then hit that like button. If you enjoyed the content, then stick around by hitting that subscribe button. Anyways, I will catch you beautiful people in the next one.